Hello again, everybody. It's Paul Gerald with Groundhopper Soccer Guides, and today we're going to talk about Ted Lasso, the hit, popular, award-winning Apple TV program about an American college football coach who winds up in London coaching an English football/soccer team called Afc Richmond. And what I want to talk about is where they film Ted Lasso. I've had a lot of fun figuring out some of these locations around London, so I thought I would share them with you. By the way, all of this exists in a blog post that you can check the description down below for the post at groundhopperguides.com. So first of all, AFC Richmond is not a real football club. However, Richmond is a real place. It is in southwest kind of greater London, out there in between central London and Heathrow Airport. And in fact, a lot of the show is apparently filmed in a studio near Heathrow Airport. Now, Richmond, AFC Richmond, not a real club. However, they do use, at times, a real Premier League stadium. This is Selhurst Park, home of Crystal Palace, also in South London, as is Richmond. Those are the Richmond players out on the field, so I'm going to guess this is sort of a computer-generated background, but it is definitely Selhurst Park. This picture was taken from when I saw them play Chelsea. I was seated in the Holmesdale Road end. That on the right is the weight stand, and across the way there is the White Horse Lane stand, where, by the way, Groundhopper Guide sells hospitality packages right up in those boxes there. So check it out, groundhopperguides.com. Now, the in-game action shots, much of this is definitely computer-generated. If you kind of look at the crowd especially, you can tell. However, once again, definitely Selhurst Park. On the left, the Holmesdale Road end, and on the right, the main stand. There's the real Holmesdale Road, and there's the real main stand. The exterior that they show occasionally, you can see here they've put up some signs to say, "Welcome to Nelson Road, the Dog Pound, home of AFC Richmond, the Bulldogs," or whatever kind of dogs they are. That is, in fact, the exterior of Selhurst Park, right there at the corner of Holmesdale Road and Park Road. The big roof there is the top of the Holmesdale Road stand. Now, in the opening credits, you see this here where Ted goes out and sits in the stadium, and they're red and blue seats, and of course it spells out Ted Lasso. That is definitely computer-generated, but it is equally definitely a take on the seats in the Holmesdale Road, where it says Palace Eagles in red and blue. Very common in England for something to be spelled out on the seats. Now, there are a lot of scenes filmed at AFC Richmond's training ground, and that is, in fact, the home ground of a club called Hayes and Yeading Football Club. This is Beaconsfield Road, which seats 3,000 people and is out by Heathrow Airport. They play in the Southern League Premier Division South at Tier 7. And check the screen there for a guide to all the leagues and cups of English football. Now, in the first season, they played a very important away game at Everton in Liverpool. And some of you may already be looking at this and thinking, that's not Everton in Liverpool. But this is a shot that was supposed to be outside Goodison Park, Everton. And in fact, that is Craven Cottage, the home of Fulham Football Club, also in London, a very, very famous Grade 2 protected building built in 1905. And if you look over on the right there, you can see the construction crane. This was taken sometime in 2019 or 20 when Fulham were rebuilding the Riverside stand over on the right side along the River Thames. So Fulham appearing as Everton. There's the outside of the actual Johnny Haynes stand on a game night, and here you can see the home supporters only sign above the turnstile at Fulham. Now, in Season 2, we get this brief overhead shot of Wembley Stadium, and that is an exterior of Wembley Stadium. That big arch there, quite famous. It helps to hold up the roof. And why are they at Wembley Stadium? Well, if I grabbed this screenshot here, this episode has not yet happened in Season 2, but this is in the trailer, and that clearly says Emirates FA Cup semi-final with a Manchester City logo on the left. So it seems pretty clear to me that AFC Richmond is going to play an FA Cup semi-final against Manchester City in Season 2. Stay tuned for that. This, by the way, is what an actual FA Cup semi-final looks like at Wembley Stadium. Southampton and the red and white flags against Chelsea across the way. Now, there are some scenes actually filmed in Richmond. This is Ted's local pub, which is called the Crown and Anchor on the show. It is, in fact, the Prince's Head there in Richmond. There are some other scenes filmed out in Twickenham, which is another neighborhood out close to Heathrow Airport, which is also the home of the National Rugby Stadium at Twickenham. This scene here is actually along the River Thames on Eel Pie Island, and that in the background is the Twickenham Rowing Club. Here, courtesy of Google Maps, is the actual Twickenham Rowing Club. It appears that they put a bench right about there and set up their camera here, and yes, that is how obsessive I have gotten about looking for Ted Lasso filming locations. Here we see a scene where they're walking along a street that is filmed in Twickenham. It's supposed to be Richmond on the show, but it's actually Twickenham, and if you look there top center of the picture, you'll see a pub called the Eel Pie. And again, via Google Maps, here is the actual Eel Pie pub on Church Street in Twickenham. Also on Church Street in Twickenham are these two characters who are on their way to a doll shop. There in the background you can see a laser clinic called Shear and a store called Completely Floored. Here on Google Maps is that exact same view. And in fact, right over here, see that shop right there? That is a shop at 43 Church Street in Twickenham called Mojo. And it appeared on the show as the Dolls of England, a shop full of tortured English orphan dolls. I hope that the shop was paid well to probably be shut down for a couple of days and be briefly turned into a weird doll shop. And for our last scene, we're going to go back to the actual town or area of Richmond, where we see Ted and another character walking down the street. And there on the right is a shop. You can't quite make out the name, but it's called Chango, Chango. They do Argentinian empanadas. And this is in a tiny little street in Richmond, so small that the Google Street View vehicle couldn't make it down there. But I tracked it down because here in the background, you can see that building right there. That is this building here, Sebastian's Italian at 12 King Street in Richmond. And if you spin all the way around here, right down that alley there is where they filmed that scene. Okay, so like I said, there's on the website, groundhopperguides.com, you can see a blog post that goes through all of this stuff, the Ted Lasso filming locations. Also, be sure and check out the rest of our website, groundhopperguides.com. Our goal in life is to help you not only get to a game in England or Europe, but know more about what you're doing and enjoy yourself. We sell tickets to Premier League clubs, championship clubs. We sell tickets in Germany, Spain, France, and Italy. We have consultations. We can help you plan your trip. And we publish a guidebook, the Groundhopper Guide to Soccer in England. So thanks for watching the video. Enjoy Ted Lasso. Go get them, AFC Richmond. Come see us at groundhopperguides.com, and we'll see you at the grounds.